法律101。
朋友们大家好，欢迎收听德州中文台。在今天星期四，我们带给大家的法律101，我是胡美健。在今天我们的节目呢，要再一次和来自休斯顿警察局HPD 的高阶警官 Officer James Sabota 一块儿进行，带给我们朋友们这一会儿大伙最为关心，也是在现在在社区里面大家都在讨论的事件，或者是说新的政策所带来的影响。我们在接下来的节目当中会和 Officer Sabota 一块讨论，提供给大家。那么也希望朋友们要特别的注意。Good morning, Officer. Welcome to join the show.
Good morning, Pam, and thank you so much for having me on the show. It's always so great to give tips on law enforcement and safety, and of course, it's always good to hear from all of your listeners.
Thank you. Well, I guess now we have a lot of new policies or laws, and just has begun since September the 2nd, if I remember the correct. And people talk about them. I think the one, a law we carry guns. We don't need to apply for permit. We don't need to, even go through some special training. So can you talk more about the safety and those questions or problems related to this topic?
Yes, I will. And, this is a very important topic to talk about. And a lot of meetings that I go to and so many of the public that I end up speaking to, this is a lot of the questions. And I get stopped all the time in public about this particular issue. As we all know, starting the 1st of September, is this new law that came up that you, in the state of Texas, a citizen is able to carry a gun without, like you say, permit or any type of training. Mm-hmm. This is correct. There's a lot of questions and a lot of comments and a lot of thoughts that has gone into this. So many people ask me.
OK， 朋友们在这里既然我们谈到了新的就这个是Governor 就是签署的新的法案，我想大家比较会和我们有关的。那么一个就是大伙儿争执已久，然后现在终于成为法律的，就是无照吸枪这一个法案。这个法案容许就是德州的民众，你可以不需要去申请枪照，你也不需要经过特殊的这个训练，你就可以拥有枪支。那么这法案当然有两极化的赞成反对，两个不同的方向，两个不同的团体的意见。但是不管怎么讲，这个法案是的已经通过，现在呢你不需要特别的这个许可，你也不需要经过特别的上课通过，然后去申请枪支去购买枪支。那么对于会不会有所谓的背景检查，是不是犯罪，有没有犯罪记录呢？这一些我们请 Officer Sabota 来为大家做个说明。Yes, Officer, since we know that we don't need to go through special procedure to apply a license to buy a gun or to own the gun, but how about the background check? Do we still need to go through any background check?
Well, this is a very good question. Now, many years ago, in the state of Texas, when they developed the idea of the concealed license carry permit, what they did was they designed this to say, okay, if you're going to own a gun, whether you buy one legally or maybe you've owned one for many years, and if you wanted to carry it, that you must go through a lot of questions and a lot of answers and on this application process. And the biggest questions were, are you prohibited by law from the courts or from your doctor a mental capacity, was there any reason why you cannot carry a gun? Mm-hmm. And that was on so you had to make up an application, fill out your name, date of birth, address, and answer these questions. And if you were approved, then you pay a fee, and you would get this permit that looked almost like a driver's license, but it said concealed handgun license. But now, some of the issues is you cannot be a convicted felon if you committed any type of offense. Or if you were, in other words, some people that are convicted in the court with family violence issues, they are marked down as not able to carry a gun. Or if somebody is deemed by maybe a physician, a doctor, that they are not mentally capable of carrying a gun, these are some of the issues they would reject that application process. And this was many, many years ago. Now, about 5 or 6 years ago, if we all remember, they changed it a little bit. They said that you can carry a open carry. In other words, you could have a holster, and you could be showing your pistol on a holster on your belt for ladies and men, and that was legal. And of course, we spoke about that years ago, and everybody was worried about it. They said, "Oh my goodness, this is going to be like the Wild Wild West, like the cowboy days." It was amazing that we all, even the police officers, we were trained to, be prepared for this type of thing. But what was amazing is, when they started this, we saw very, very few people that actually carried their open, exposed gun out in public. So it was just a lot of big talk, but nobody really did it, especially in the big cities. Mm-hmm. Now, what we did see this in the state of Texas is rural areas like ranches and farms where people needed guns for, maybe a wild animal or something. They would carry it. But it was not a big issue here in the city as people were scared.
OK， 好，在这儿啊，其实刚才 Officer Sabota 回答了不光是我的问题，也分析了一些，也谈了现在的情形。在早早的时候呢，是的，我们都会有所谓的背景的调查啦，你可能这个人可能是有犯罪记录啦，有这些有那些，所以他不能够拥有枪支。那么近年来，在现在慢慢的在这个枪支的拥有购买方面呢，又有很大的争执，有所谓的宪法赋予的权利啦，或者是自我保护啦，或者是防范于未然啦，或者那么负面的还包括了这是增加我们的社会的安全隐忧啦，人身的危险啦等等。或者校园里边的危险等等，这些都是朋友们在过去我们都听到的，我们也看到过，我们也甚至于我相信很多我们的听众也参与了在里边的你来我往的意见的发表意见的交换。那么刚才 Officer Sabota 也谈到了，就是说在现在从越来越多我们现在就是拥枪的权利开放了之后，当然了这些这 police officers 这个 law enforcement 他们这一些执法人员在很早就开始被准备好来接受来适应来处理，在普遍打开大家都可以来购买枪支的情形，这个社会这样子的群众会是怎么样的情形？他们原来担心有可能会很多的这个我们讲说枪击事件事故会出来，一言不合就拔枪相对，就像以前我们在克林伊斯威特的电影这个 movie 里面，或者是还有 John Wayne 的电影里面，骑着马然后下来，背靠背各自走3步，1、2、3、4、5、6、7步，拔枪回头对打，谁把对方给打下来，谁就赢了，什么都不用讲了，没有这种情形朋友们，到目前在刚才 Officer Sabota 说呢，并没有这样子情形，而在 big city 在我们这些 大城市在枪支的事件里边来讲并不多啊，并没有增加。在偏远地区呢，很多的偏远的乡村农场里边的人们拥枪，最主要是可能要保护他自己，防御野兽啊，外面野兽的攻击，所以拥枪。但是在我们大城市里边的话，说真的，因为开放了去蜂拥去买枪，或者是说因为开放了有枪可以自由拥枪的权利之后，整个的城市变得混乱，或者是枪支的事故增加。刚才 Officer Sabota 是说呢，在目前在他们都还没有看到。那么也有听众在问，到底什么样的背景你可以买枪？我必须要提供我是居民，我是公民，我是游客，可不可以？我是外国学生，可不可以？或者我什么都不是，我现在我什么东西都不要提，我是不是就可以直接购买枪支呢？来，我们请 Officer Sabota 来谈一下。Officer, we have a question from some audiences asking about what kind of status people can buy gun here. Do they need to provide like driver license, ID, or none of that? How about their status is not legal here?
Okay, very good question. Now, if you go to a gun store, a gun shop, and want to buy a pistol, you must have a form of ID, and it must be a Texas ID, whether it's a driver's license. But so what they're going to do is at the gun shop, they're going to go online. They have a connection to the state of Texas, and they're going to run that name, driver's license, ID number, date of birth, and they're going to see if that person has been handled before by law enforcement and or is prohibited to carry or to buy that gun. Now, if they're on the computer with the Texas state, if it indicates that they are not able to buy one, then that gun shop does not have the authority to sell one. Now, going as far as, but you got to have a Texas ID. To buy one. So if somebody here maybe not documented or here just temporarily on a work visa or some other type of visa, they will not sell them a gun.
Okay.
And same thing at big gun shows. You know, sometimes there's gun shows throughout the city or state. Now, some people, it's legal to buy a gun in the state of Texas from another Texas resident. In other words, your next door neighbor or somebody that you know that says, I don't want to buy this, I don't want my gun anymore, I want to sell it to you. Well, you can actually buy it from a Texas to Texas resident, and just document who you bought that gun from. So you can do that. So I hope that answers the question. And then after you interpret that, then we can talk about the current law about carrying it and the policies and procedures.
Sure. 好，刚才呢Officer Sabota 就谈到了这个问题啊，要提醒大家，并不是任何人你都可以买。如果你要到卖枪的枪店，也许甚至以前 Walmart 还有，现在没有了。但是呢，如果你要到任何一个枪店、枪展，你要去买枪，你第一个要带的，他一定要看的是你的德州的 ID 或者是你的驾照，你的 Texas ID or 你的 driver's license， 这个是一定要的。然后他们会到电脑上去看看你有没有被警方逮捕的这个记录，或者你现在还是被通缉当中呢？这个人有没有被通缉当中？或者呢，在这个上面，他有的就是可能在医疗方面，他被判定为他不适合拥有枪支，可能在操作或者是有这一方面的危险，那么他就不可以卖给你了。那么一般来讲，你要买枪在德州，你必须拥有德州的合法的身份证明否则是不可以。但是你买了枪之后，也许说，我现在我已经有16把枪了，看看呢，这个我又不要开枪展，我又不是要做枪的买卖，16把枪太多了。 旧的不去，新的不来。我现在要把这些枪，我要有一半我卖给我的邻居，我才能够再买新的进来，可不可以？可以的，你可以把你的枪卖给其他的朋友、其他的人，但是呢，你最好把它 document， 就是你把它写下来，你把枪卖给谁了啊？这个样子的话，你才有一个记录，而到时候如果有任何的意外，你也能够有记录来保护你自己。Yes, okay. 下边的我 Yes, please.
So once it is determined that it's legal for a citizen to own and possess a firearm by the state of Texas, you can actually carry it around with you. Now, there's a lot of debate. A lot of people ask me, some people are for and some people are against it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the comments that I'm getting is, why does a person need to carry a gun? It's dangerous. Now, as we turn on the news almost every day, every week on the news, we see where somebody shoots and kills somebody. It could be a range from road rage to domestic argument at home or argument at work, or maybe somebody is having problems with somebody and they shoot and kill somebody. So carrying a firearm is a very, very important thing. Now, I've had a lady tell me the other day, well, I'm going to start carrying one in my purse, and I'm going to be prepared for a robber that's going to attack me, and I can pull that gun out. Now, just like anything else, if you get a new car or just, you want to know how to operate that car safely on the road, on the freeway, in heavy traffic, you want to be able to operate that vehicle. Same thing with a pistol or any type of firearm. You want to be able to know how to load it, how to unload it, how to actually shoot it safely. Now, I strongly disagree if somebody that does not have some type of training to carry a pistol because they maybe will not store properly. Now, if you carry a purse, and I ask this to ladies and men all the time, if you have this pistol, are you prepared to act quickly in case somebody approaches you and pulls a gun on you? Are you going to tell that suspect, hey, now wait a minute now, I need to reach into my purse and I'm going to grab my pistol? So that can be also dangerous, that if you're digging around and then they may shoot you if you're not prepared quick enough.
好，在这儿哈，刚才 Officer Sabota 呢也谈到了，他们在近来呢，虽然说这个我们的枪支法律啊现在开放了，近来他们也是处理了一些相关的这个事件，那包括了有的时候很多的这个家庭里面的我们讲说 domestic 的这种暴力。家庭暴力，也许是夫妻口角，也许是就是兄弟也许是这个子女父母子女之间的口角，怒气没有办法 control 的时候，另外呢，还有呢，在工作场所，你讲的我谈的，我们两个意见不符你这个。大家你来我往，意见没有办法统一，怒气横生的时候，管不住自己，拿起枪来，好，蹦蹦蹦的。那么这种情形是的，是发生过。但是呢，在这里呢 ，Officer Sabota 也特别谈到，那也有很多人，就像他认得的一位女士，也会告诉他，哎，我这把枪，我有了一把手枪，一个 pistol，我放在我的皮包里，我随时准备，我要紧急时候要用它。不过呢，朋友们，这个怎么样子来叫做紧急时候呢？你的皮包，朋友们，我们都知道我们的皮包在哪儿啊？有的时候丢在开车的时候放在座位旁边，或者放在后座，或者是出来的时候挂在手背上提在手上。当这个对方拿把枪顶着你，指着你，叫你交钱、交电话、交 credit card， 这个把手上身上的所有的珠宝都拔下来的时候，那个时候你有时间去拿你的枪吗？你有时间去说 Hey, wait a minute， 对方你等一等坏人你等等，让我先把我的枪拿出来。大概我们只有在卡通里面才看得到这种情形，所以这也会造成 这个到底是要怎么办？这个情形，这是一个很危险的情形。那个时候，也许你已经慌了啊，不知道你的枪在哪，或者呢，你想要去 reach 你的枪，而歹人呢认为你这个意图对他有伤害，他直接开枪，这都不是我们愿意看到的。我们看看 Officer Sabota 要怎么样子来分析。So Officer thinks, okay, if this lady keeps her gun, the pistol in the purse, and usually we will leave our purse next in the car next to us or in the back seat, or when we shopping, we just hold the purse. When someone, okay, with the bad guys holding the gun to us, we say, oh, that's dangerous. We need to protect ourselves. Okay, let's get my gun out to protect myself, which it will be too late.
Well, yes and no. Now, it all depends. Of course, every situation is differently. Now, you can protect yourself. But the issue is, if they see you digging around and pull your gun out, they may discharge or they may fire their gun first and strike you.
Yes.
Now, you most certainly, and you can use force, the necessary force. So if they shot you with a gun, and you can also shoot back with your pistol if you're able to, and this is legal.
Okay.
Now, I want to talk about this also is just because you're carrying a gun legally, you can't pull it out. The only reason why you can pull it out and aim it at somebody is if your life is in danger and you feel that you have no other way out. You can actually discharge your firearm. But it's very important that some people, maybe road rage, you're going to pull the gun out and point it at somebody because of something that is not life-threatening. And that is a very, very important thought to think about is you just can't use it because a person is mad. You can only display that firearm because your life is in danger.
OK， 所以在刚才我们谈到的这个情形啊，要提醒大家，因为真的，如果在发生这样子的情形，你要去 reach 你皮包里的手枪啊来自卫。当然，在这种情形下，对方对你开枪，拿着枪对着你，你在还击保护自己这个开枪，这个是完全是 legal 的，是合法的。但是有没有这个时间？你会不会因为这样子的动作而先让你自己陷自己于极端危险当中？这是非常非常值得深思的。Yes, officer.
I'd like to also add that just because we all are legal to carry a pistol now, there are some restrictions. You still can't carry them into banks. You cannot go into governmental courthouses or buildings that are governmentally, managed. You cannot carry a pistol. And also, any private company, whether it be a restaurant or any type of shopping center, you must look. If you're carrying that pistol with you, and if there is a sign on the door, on the entrance, and they must require the state of Texas requires these businesses to post it on the door, every entrance, that some businesses, private businesses, do not want people to carry guns in. So if they say you cannot bring a pistol in that particular private business, you must follow that instruction that you cannot carry it.
好，我们在今天呢，其实我们讨论这一个 gun safety 啊和 new policy 或者 new law 啊，在这个问题上面是蛮让大家这个争执蛮多的。不过呢，在这有一个是没什么好争执的，那就是当你到任何一个店，你到任何一个 shopping 的这个 store 商场，如果他在大门口告诉你不可带枪进来，不允许你带枪进来，希望你注意不要带枪进去，因为每一家店的这也是由他自己的负责人来决定他的 policy 是怎么样。所以如果说他有这样子的这个 告示啊，在门口的话，希望朋友们要注意，千万不要在这样子的，他已经告诉你不要带枪进去，你还带枪进去，希望大家要特别注意，避免发生这样子的问题。Okay, well, time flies so fast. Our show is approaching end. We need to stop today now.
Yes, it's always a pleasure to be invited on the show to give safety tips. And I want to thank everybody for listening to the safety tips. And we will look forward to be on the show the next time.
Sure. And I believe we have a lot related to the new laws, to gun laws, questions, and we can discuss and the next time we talk.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. If anybody has any questions, please contact your station and we can review and talk about those questions.
Okay. Thank you. And talk to you next time. You take care.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.